To me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me.
Did he really just say on camera, "That's okay, I don't care what you want," after you said, "Leave me alone"? This is why most of us never feel safe. I hear that all the time. I don't care what you want. I know that it's illegal to peep on you and hack you and clone your phone and call your customers and tell them not to buy from you anymore and make you broke. I know that's illegal to traffic you. I know it's illegal to coerce and harass and threaten you. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it because I think I can. These are the Charles Perry Stalker Podcast. This is Cynthia Ortiz. It is the 30th of November, 2023. The allegations are that Mr. Perry has sold me in a human trafficking deal to a guy named Larry, who is a Houston realtor. And I found out beforehand, no other victim does that, and he seems not to be able to figure out what it means that we know that already. He is caught. He acts like he doesn't know he's caught. He acts like he doesn't know that when you're caught, you stop. Not that you should do that anyway. It is very illegal. The way that we found out is Mr. Perry's under investigation. It's a need to know. These guys can get a lot of information, like, gosh, Sin, he's trafficked you. When he doesn't have any idea who they are. They can go around and talk to people, talk to him. They've talked to him. He just didn't know who he was talking to. When he doesn't know, it's a need to know, so he doesn't know who they are. I guess several years ago he complained to someone. I paid Oklahoma law enforcement $15 million, and I have not gotten the cover-up of my crime that I was promised. We said they put that money into evidence. And when Mr. Perry did not get the cover-up he thought he was going to get, he had it stolen back, and he has the money now. Is that good intel, Mr. Perry, or bad? Why is it you're always in Oklahoma? I left Lubbock in 2013, November 2013, and moved to the Dallas area. And Mr. Perry came to the Dallas area and butt in and bothered and butt in and bothered and threatened and harassed and butt in and bothered, called my boss, called people I lived around, it was ridiculous. Used everybody he could to stalk for him. Had me followed. I was being followed. I didn't know how to ditch a tail. I pull over. The guy actually pulled over too. It's amazing if you're you think somebody's following you. If they are, and you pull over, they're going to pull over too. Sometimes by mistake. He pulled over and then kind of like realized what he was doing, like, oops, and then went on his way. That's one way to ditch a tail. There's a lot of ways, but that's one. Where if you think you're being followed and you want to kind of see what the guy's going to do, you can do that. So stalking is a pattern of harassment where the perpetrator knows what the victim is doing and where they are and threatens them. And Mr. Perry does that. He's always in Oklahoma. I left Texas and came home to be with my family in Oklahoma. Oklahoma's home, Mr. Perry, not anything else, okay? I came home to be with my family. You came up here. You took it upon yourself to introduce yourself to my family, because I certainly would never take you around my family. Wouldn't. There's no way. Had them shove me out of their lives. And Mr. Perry, part of the stalking is domestic violence. Trafficking and stalking go hand in hand. They do. The traffickers stalk the trafficking victims. They stalk them. They clone their phones. They watch everything they do. They feel like that they are slaves. They feel like they are owed their crime. They have an I'm entitled mentality. I don't care what you want. I don't care that it's illegal. I'm going to impose on you anyway. And but things changed for Mr. Perry when he did it to me, and he still has not figured that out. One of our informants or whatever said to a person who said to another person. Anyway, got back to us. He said, I'm sick and tired of watching Charles terrorize Cindy and try to ruin her. He doesn't want her to know he's got Huntington's disease. Make sure she finds out he's got Huntington's disease. He tells people it's Tourette's. It is not. He's lying. Bold-faced lying. He has Huntington's disease. It causes paranoia, hallucinations, delusions, psychosis, and impaired cognitive reasoning. So when he does the crime to me, he gets caught. And he acts like he doesn't know that. And everybody's scratching their head going, the fuck is wrong with that guy? Why would you do the same thing every day that got your crime caught? And then complain, well, I paid everybody, law enforcement in Oklahoma, $15 million to cover up my crime. And I'm not getting the cover up. She keeps finding out that most victims don't know they're trafficked. They don't know they're sold. They don't know who to, and they don't know where the guy lives. I know all of that. And I know Mr. Perry has Huntington's disease. He's a officially diagnosed Looney Tune. And if you talk to him for more than 2 minutes, you can't miss it. He doesn't make any sense. He will take up hours of your time repeating the same argument. It's just not clicking for him. It goes right over his head. And he doesn't make sense. And we've heard that complaint a lot too. He took up a lot of my time arguing, trying to, demand this and demand that. And I'm telling him we can't do that, and I can't do that, and you can't do that. And he continued to argue, and he didn't make sense. And you could tell he wasn't understanding what I was saying. And we just talked in circles, and I finally was like, dude, I got to hang up. I have stuff to do. I'm busy. Why aren't you? Mr. Perry wants to run for governor. Well, of what? I mean, if you can't tell that you're caught, when we're already you trafficked me. You sold me. You made an illegal business deal. It was illegal. I wasn't asked about it. I wasn't told about it till afterward. I don't consent. I said no. I say no every day. I'm not going to change my mind. The more you pressure me, the more pissed off I get. I'm not one of these people that goes around crying. You won't see me cry. You piss me off. And if you piss me off, you piss off the people helping me, and you have stepped in some shit. You have kicked the hornet's nest of your life. And you act like you don't know that. You cannot. You're not smart enough to be governor if you act like this guy.
Please, I can't live here anymore because
this guy's not a dignitary. So what I did is I left Lubbock in 2013, moved to the Dallas area. In September 2014, I had to leave that. I just met a man that I really liked. I wanted to get to know him better, see what he is like. His work name was Fabian. His real name is Todd. I had to leave that and take my son. My son was still living with me. We have to uproot ourselves, start all over again, and then come home to Oklahoma to be with my family. So imagine the animosity against you because you ruined that for me. Nobody invited you to Oklahoma. You are not asked to be here. No one cares what you think. You're not asked what you think. Mr. Perry, I've not asked you what you think. I don't care. No one understands why you think I do. Nobody understands why in the fuck you think that. Your mental illness shows up when you act like you think I care what you think. I did not ask you. I don't care. We all want for you to be just gone. Please just get away from me. Please just get away from me. Please just get away from me and leave me alone. Please leave everybody the fuck alone. Please get away from me. I sound just like her. And Mr. Perry torments and terrorizes. You're my wife. You're stuck with me. You can't get out. This is Hotel California. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to false arrest you. I'm going to take your car. I'm going to starve you until you do what I tell you. All day, except the way he does it is different than this guy. He clones my phone, so I'll be typing something. He'll type right over my typing. Occasionally, if I've sent out an email, you can see that. Like sometimes I'll miss it and I don't catch that he typed something in there. So if you read my emails, once in a while you can see where he's typed something over my typing. Yesterday we're gonna I called in a raid at the club. I've called in another pullover. I called in a pullover at Broken Arrow. Did you call it in or did Calvin? Because we thought Calvin did that. Or do you tell Calvin to call it in? I mean, he tells on himself when he's not telling on himself, like threatening me. Then the guys get it in surveillance. So they have got a court order or you got a leak. I'm not ever told how they get it. Whether it was a court order or a leak, I'm not told that. Well, sometimes they'll go, we had a guy tell us, blah, blah, blah. So then clearly the guy told us. But when you're arrested, then they can tell you all that. I think they have to. They never have to explain to you how I got it. At no point does anyone have to tell you, here's how they got it to her. You peep, and you can talk to police on the phone. So we're amazed at some of your bizarre questions, sir. And your bizarre, we think it's not, there's no police. And we're like, okay, well, if it's not police, then you tell us who you think it is. You tell us what you think we're going to do with all this information from right inside your criminal organization, like Calvin's name. I've not met Calvin that I know of. I understand he's bald and fat and not very tall. So, is he? He calls them the pullovers. He arranges the DoorDash orders. He and Sanjay. I've not met Sanjay either. So you tell the court, Charles, how would I know those people if not for police surveillance? If it's not police, who is it? And prove that. Or shut up. At one point he said it's Roswell aliens, if you can believe that. Remember, the man has a mental illness. But he wants to be a dignitary. Can you see this man being a dignitary?
You stalk me, that's why leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice, Seal. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalk me. That's why I moved. Leave me alone.
I will.
So he bought a cover-up from Oklahoma law enforcement. I don't think it was all of Oklahoma law enforcement, but certain ones, certain offices, and was complaining I didn't get my cover-up. And we heard they put the money in evidence, bribery, and you stole it back because you didn't like that you didn't get your cover-up. Is that good intel or bad? Yeah, you can. We don't want to lie, so you tell us. Police record a lot of things. Some of it's good intel, some of it's bad intel. We're recording someone else talking. Or they are. They're recording somebody else talking. So someone else talking might be telling the truth or may not. We have to prove it out. We have to test it out to see, is this good or bad? Is this true or not true? There's a lot of ways that we do that. I'm not a part of the process for the most part. Occasionally I am. If there's more of a direct connection with me than I am. If not, they prove all that stuff out. They have their ways, the different things that they do to prove it out. Is it good or bad? Sometimes it's a conversation. Part of it's true, part of it's not. Sometimes it's a conversation and the whole thing's true, or the whole thing's not true, or parts of it are true and parts of it are not. And or they discuss pulling me over and then change their mind, decided not to. Or, call in a pullover. Calvin, get her a DoorDash order on Broken Arrow and then tell Broken Arrow to pull her over. Those kind of conversations. Is that true intel? Is that good intel or bad? Is it true or false? So, if I get a DoorDash order on Broken Arrow, believe me, I'm looking at my rearview mirror the whole time I'm driving to Broken Arrow. If I get pulled over by Broken Arrow police, then it's good intel. Wouldn't you say? Especially if it comes in at 6 o'clock and I'm pulled over at 7. Then it's really hard to argue that it's not good intel, correct? It's hard to argue that's just a coincidence. First of all, police don't believe in coincidence, Mr. Perry. Good police don't believe in coincidence. So it's hard to believe that's just a coincidence when the guys just recorded you guys talking about getting me a DoorDash order. You hacked my phone. You hacked DoorDash. You have your guys call in, right? It's your people that call in and order. And it gets around an algorithm that picks drivers randomly and gets me specifically. And a lot of them have a doorbell camera or some sort of home surveillance. Because Mr. Perry takes pictures of me wherever I'm just working. There's nothing illegal about door dashing. Food delivery is perfectly legal. Dancing is perfectly legal as long as you're not doing any of the extras in the back. So I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm doing legal work to make money to pay my bills and legally obligated financial, things you got to pay for. And you're interfering and you're impeding. And you're doing it on purpose. Because once he trafficked me, now it's about pressuring me to go. So he'll type that in my phone too. You're going. No, I'm not. It's not my problem. It's not my fault that you committed a crime. Is it? The other thing you did is you interfered with my school. I'm trying to get a degree in criminal justice, and I was 5 courses away. They had a professor fail me. Do you think that wasn't recorded too, Charles? Are you really that stupid? Your conversation with the professor? Fail her? I had some late assignments because we had the storm, and I got men trying to traffic me. And they believe if we cut off all her money, if we take her car, if we get her kicked out of her home, if we make her destitute, she will not have a choice but to be pressured to go be trafficked. Now, let me explain to you what trafficking means. Trafficking a person means that individual is used for sex slavery. The traffickers make the money. The poor girl has to suck you know what and go get raped. It is not voluntary prostitution. It is involuntary forced servitude prostitution. Prostitution is a crime. You have a man telling you are going to go suck that guy's you know what. I'm going to take money. And if you don't do it, I'm going to beat the hell out of you. And you won't eat for a week. I want you to go commit a crime for me, and I'm going to cash out on it. That is what Mr. Perry's asking me to do. And my answer to that is fuck you. It's not just no, it's fuck you. And not only that, today or yesterday, they got recorded saying this. Listen to this. We spend a lot of time and a lot of money grooming her family to gaslight her, to tell her she can't stay in Oklahoma, she has to go with Charles. They talk about that all the time. We can't let her stay in Oklahoma. We can't. If I know you said that, let me tell you something right now. It is not up to you. When we got that, you said that she can't stay in Oklahoma. We have to get her family to tell her she has to leave. Her family. If we got you saying that, then it is not up to you. We got that and it wasn't up to you, nor is it anything else after that. And if you think it is, it speaks to your delusion. It speaks to how delusional you really are. Because no other victim knows about stuff like that, but I do. It's extremely, very, vastly different when you do the crime to me. Life as you knew it ended right there. It stopped. Everything's different. And you guys even say that. How did she find out about that? How does she know about that? This has never happened before. But it has. Every day, all day long, for 10 years. We've got your accomplices named, I've not met Calvin and Sonjay. They set up the DoorDash orders. And then Calvin calls in a cop. Pull her over. I have been pulled over more in Oklahoma since they've been doing this to me than I have in my whole life put together. And I'm 54. I'm not a 20-year-old teenage runaway. But see, the thing is, they ruined the school because I get school loan money, and they wanted to traffic me. So they didn't want me having school loan money because then I'm not going to be quite so easy to coerce and pressure and coerce and pressure and pressure and coerce and coerce and pressure and push and push and push and you're going. No. And fuck you. If Charles Perry gets anywhere near me, I will beat the ever-living fuck out of him. I will beat the ever-living shit fuck out of him. And what they tried to do Saturday, apparently, they've sold my car, which I own free and clear. They sold my car to the guy that I used to buy cars from, Mo, at Good Deal. And he illegally got my key, got a key. And while I was at work Saturday night in Inola, they tried to take it and make me walk back to Tulsa from Inola. It's a 45-minute drive. Thinking then Charles said, then she'll call me. Then she'll do what we say. It's freezing cold out there. We've told everybody, don't give her a ride. Here's what we're going to do. Everybody she works with knows. Is that true or not? Is that good intel or bad intel? Am I going to test that out? Should I test it out to see if it's good intel, Mr. Perry? I'm very good at what I do. I can test it out and they won't know that's what I'm doing. They won't have any idea. So, but the key didn't work. Thank God the key didn't work. But they've had this planned. We catch them planning it. We talk about it. You're caught. Now act like you know that. Act like you know you're caught. At the same time they did the school loan money, I got a whole bunch of DoorDash complaints. I didn't deliver the food. And I'm like, well, I always deliver the food. In fact, I've got pictures of it. Okay, so DoorDash has this thing that the customer can say, leave it at the door. And then you have to take a picture of it. And then it texts the picture to the customer as to where you left the food. If it says hand it to me, if the customer chooses hand it to me, then you hand it to them and no pictures required. But because they do this to me all the time, have them lie and say that they didn't get their order. I started taking pictures. They were trying to get me fired. I started taking pictures no matter what. I just take a picture, and I'll text it to the customer. I handed it to you. Here's the picture I took, and I'll tell them I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to text you the picture. Okay. That doesn't mean they can't still complain. Then I have to go through the complaint process with DoorDash and show them the pictures. Say the customer lied. I took the picture. And, it's a little bit of a process. It's so far I've been able to be... but they had like 3 or 4 people complain all at the same time, right when they did this thing with my school. Because if you fail a course, now you have to pay for the course, which I don't have the money for. They make sure I don't have the money for. And there goes my school loan money. It's gone. It's over. So what I'm going to have to do now is, first of all, now I don't want University of Phoenix on my diploma, and I've told them that. I'm out. I'm done with you. I do not want your college name on my diploma. I'll get a diploma from another school. There's a lot of options for getting school paid for. You're not getting any more of my money, school loan or otherwise, and now your name's not going to be on my diploma. So, we're good. Thanks. They might get sued. That teacher might get criminal charges. I don't know. She shouldn't have been talking to them. I have the right to privacy. There are privacy laws that would prohibit them from talking to anybody but me about my education and my school loan. So all that's going on at the same time, and they have my ex-husband who was helping me sometimes. They tell him, don't give her any money. So all that's going on at the same time, because that was a traffic delivery deadline that they made with Larry. Charles told somebody, I stand to lose millions if I can't deliver her. They call it Papa John's. Can we not Papa John's her? Are we not going to make Papa John's on this one? We are not going to get this pizza delivered. We're commodities. They sell slices of us to make money. But remember, human trafficking comes with a life sentence per count. And then when I said no, everything after that is coercion, pressure, coercion, pressure, coercion. Once Charles is in jail, I will not have to deal with any of that anymore, ever again. I will never be broke again. I get my privacy back. He won't be in my phone anymore. He won't peep anymore. He won't cause trouble and problems for me like that anymore. He won't call my school and have them fail me. He won't be around to do that anymore. So he acts confused as to why I wouldn't just go for this. He's even typed in my phone, I'll pay for nursing school. I don't want nursing school. I don't want nursing school even a little bit. And why are you, you don't make decisions for me. It's none of your business at all, really. So, if that's supposed to be some sort of bribe, fuck you. You're off. You are something. I'm in criminal justice school, and we all get that you don't like that because we're catching your crime like nobody else has done before. And I'm really good at the part that I do. And you get caught more when you do the crime to me. And if you didn't like that, you wouldn't do the crime to me. It's been this way for 10 years, all day long, every day. We quote everything you guys say. We've got names of your accomplices: Lucius, Calvin, Geppetto, Sanjay, Beverly, Blankenship, Desiree, Richard, Dickey, Andrew, Lawrence, James, Reuben, Nisbet, Bruce, Greg, Tim, Larry. Tim's the pilot who's got transponder problems when he kidnaps a woman. Damn thing won't work. Right? So no one knows where he lands and takes these women. This has been their business for some time. But life as they knew ended when they did it to me. And they act like they don't have any idea. What? Oh, what? Huh? While they run around it, how'd she find out about that? That's never happened before. And one of your guys said when he pesters Cindy and takes her money, things don't go well for us. We're seeing things happen we've never seen before. But you have seen it every day, all day long for 10 years when you do it to me. We're at a loss. We're like, it's so easy, it's not fair. That's all I can say. Literally so easy, it's not fair. And I guess about 3-4 weeks ago, someone talked to a guy. They're really making a lot of phone calls trying to figure out who's helping me. So there was one made tonight. Here's what we're seeing her do. Here's what's happening. She's finding about this, finding out about that. We don't know how. We can talk to police on the phone. Mr. Perry, you're a peeping Tom. You ought to know that. And constitutionally, you're not entitled to know how they get information to me. Are they? Are you? You're entitled to know how they collect the information, make sure it was legally obtained. And when you're arrested and you go to trial, they'll tell you that. But there's nothing in the Constitution that says that they have to tell you how they disperse that to everybody and they need to know. I'm not the only one that gets it. And I've told you that too. It's dispersed to other people that are in the need to know, playing various roles. And they don't have to tell you how they do that. There's no constitutional requirement for that. So when you start asking those questions, it's kind of bizarre. We're kind of at a loss as to, we're kind of like, wow, I don't know. He wants to be governor. He was told, she finds out before and you don't like that. No, I don't like that. Okay, well, it's been that way for 10 years, correct? For 10 years, yes. Okay, here's the thing. She said that people are extremely offended and upset by what he's doing to her. Crime tends to upset people and offend them. Her people are very, very, very meticulous, calculated, strategic, methodical. They do their homework and their research, or they don't do anything at all. And they understand what people want, and it's not this. So they're not having a hard time getting information. So until Charles gets a grip on reality, nothing's going to change. She'll find out again tomorrow. And then we hear you say, we spent a lot of time and money grooming her family to help us gaslight her and coerce her to leave and go be trafficked. And what ended up happening instead is we got him when we were trying to do this arrest. Charles was threatening her with. The thing is trafficking, and a false arrest, or a kidnapping, or make her destitute, eating out of a dumpster, take her car, take her money, blah blah. All of that is just how can we pressure her to do this? And Charles is telling people, I found a way to kidnap her and nobody will report it. And one of those is a false arrest. He uses taxpayer dollars to facilitate delivery of a trafficking victim. That's called abuse of power. It's sick too. And he stands to make millions. Personal financial gain. Using government services, police, court systems, justice systems to facilitate delivery. We're going to false arrest her. We're going to sit her down in a room and tell her you're stuck here. We'll do the same thing to you we did to Mike Neely. Unless you sign this recant of your claims. You lie for me, okay? Sign the paper. It's an affidavit. Sign it. I'm not supposed to know there is an affidavit. I do know. Mr. Perry's caught and he acts like he has no idea. We can talk about it and talk about it. He still acts. He acts like he has not a fucking clue. If he doesn't know he's caught, and he doesn't know when he's caught, that's when you stop. Not that he should do this anyway. He can't be governor. It's too stupid. Someone else said that too. So, then they're going to tell me, okay, you're going to go to Houston and you're going to be our sex slave. And we're going to make a lot of money off of your body against your will. We're going to exploit you. You're going to go get raped and we're going to make money. And to pressure you to do it, to go along with it, we're going to do a false arrest. And if you don't do that, you can go sit in jail. And we'll tell your family, oh, she just got herself in a jam and we tried to help her and she just wouldn't let us. Bullshit. So we groomed her family. So they, during the process of trying to do that, they had like, I guess, a grand jury, something. My cousin, they said, had to, he goes, your cousin had to testify 3 times because they kept wanting him to change what he said. What came out of that, there's an open, by the way, there's an open court order on all grand jury proceedings because we're trying to get Mr. Perry on as much perjury as we can. There's a whole page on the blog about it. They want to get Charles Perry on as much perjury as they can. If we stack up the lies first, then he can testify and other people can testify in each other's trials. And it's going to be very hard to believe any one of them at all. Here's what happened that's truth. Here's the lie. It's a lie. We can prove it's a lie. We can prove they knew it was a lie. And they told either they concealed something or they flat out bold-faced lied and they knew they were lying, or they suborned to perjury so they wanted somebody else to lie for them. We can prove it in your criminal case, Charles. So we stack that up, and after that, nobody believes a word you say. We hit your credibility right off the bat in your criminal trial. That the law enforcement agency you say isn't existing while we sit here and quote you and y'all run around going, how did she find out? How did she know? I can't do it by myself. I don't have superpowers from aliens in Roswell, as it turns out. Sometimes your delusion is just, it's embarrassing. We get embarrassed for you at the stuff you say. We really, really just get, wow, the stuff he comes up with. If there's Roswell aliens, I never saw one. They don't have any kind of magic dust that gives us superpowers. I mean, do you hear the words coming out of your mouth? I mean, it's just, anyway, so, I don't think he understands even how bad he looks when he says stuff like that. I don't think, because we're just like, oh my God, he just said, oh, good God, wow. How embarrassing. He actually said that. Like, no filters. Some of the stuff there's no law enforcement. It's Roswell aliens and shapeshifters. You actually said that with a straight face, and he did, and he said it seriously. He meant it. And we're like, there goes that Huntington's disease, I'll tell you what. So, anyways, cuckoo bird shit comes out of that guy's mouth. And the sad thing for him is he actually believes it. Delusion, paranoia, hallucinations, psychosis, and very impaired cognitive reasoning. So, you can't talk to the guy for more than 2 minutes and not see he's got something really wrong with him. Because shit like that is as far out there as, that is some far out crap. So, anyways, he, has had my cousin, I guess, testify, and had to do it 3 times because he didn't say the right thing. And he said, that's when Charles said, we got to get him to change what he just said, because if I can't deliver her, I lose millions. One of the grand jurors complained, and she said Cynthia's family, it was she or he, I don't know. I think it was a she. I'm going to say she, if that's okay. She said, I cannot believe how cold and callous Cindy's family is. I think that my cousin had said the worst mistake I ever made was helping her. And her response to that was, her family is the most cold, cruel, callous people I've ever seen. My family would never do this to each other. Even if Mr. Perry threatened them, or they had somebody threaten them, we would all have a family meeting and decide how we could work together to eliminate the threat. I have no words for this. And her son and her ex-husband are assholes. That kid needs a swat on the butt. This is outrageous. It offended her or him terribly. I'm going to call her. It offended that person terribly. So it backfired. They didn't take my cousin as credible. They didn't take him as a nice guy. All they said is, what an asshole that he would do that to his cousin. Because he should have been there all this time. He should have supported her all this time. And he's now saying it was a mistake to help her at all. And I don't have any words for that. My family would not do that. We don't do that to each other. So why is her family doing that? The other thing is I found out what they did. I will have nothing to do with my family. They have no credibility with me. I have no respect for them. So what influence would they have over me that they could come sit me down and tell me how it's going to be? No. I think I'm going to tell you how it's going to be. What I'm telling you is they're trying to use you to commit a crime. And you are to lawyer up and shut up. Because if you don't, when they get arrested, I can't help you. You are my family. I'll try to help you if I can. I won't have anything to do with you, but I'll try to help you then when that happens. But if you don't get a lawyer and shut up and stop talking to them, there's nothing I can do. There's not a damn thing I can do. I won't be able to help you at all. You do what you do. And then what happens, you have to live with that. We groomed her family. We spent a lot of money and a lot of time grooming her family to gaslight her so they could help us traffic her. She found out she wants nothing to do with them. And not only that, it turned the stomach of a grand juror. So, now what do we do? When you do the crime to me, you get caught. I did find out what you did. My family welcomed a human trafficker, an alleged cop killer, and an alleged pedophile in their home and shoved me out and fed him dinner and ate dinner with him and laughed with him while he brutalized my life so badly and did the, stalking, domestic violence, economic abuse, starve her. I'm going to starve her till she lies and be trafficked and take all of her money and everything she has till there's just nothing left, and then she'll come with me. And she'll get raped so I can get rich. So I was sleeping in my car because he actually did that to me. Last August, he did that to me. I'm sleeping in my car, barely letting me make canned food. So I'm able to eat about twice a week, and that's not a healthy, nutritious diet. I'm eating twice a week and taking a bath twice a week because I got to buy a bath. So I couldn't afford a hotel. I'm living in my car, and I got to buy a bath somewhere. So you can buy a bath at a truck stop. Then, who the hell does stuff like that? Human traffickers do that. Break them down and break them down and break them down until they feel like there's just nothing else they can do except go along and be subjugated, violently subjugated. When something different happens, when Mr. Perry does it to me, and he still acts like he has no idea. Again, I feel sorry for how bad he looks. And he wants to be governor. Does this guy look dignified like he could be governor?
Talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice, Seal. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I'm here. Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice, Seal. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I'm here. Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you.
This is how our guys see all of you, Mr. Perry.
I don't ever want to hear your voice, Seal.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public, it doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
That guy's been raping me. Since
Leave
you were
me
12 years
alone.
old.
Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
That guy's been raping me. Since
Leave
you were
me
12 years
alone.
old.
Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that...
I don't.
Hey, young boy.
Alaskan Airlines.
Hey, young ladies and young girls.
You feel? You're filming my father and my fucking sister. How does this make
Oh,
you
is that the
feel?
one that put all those scratches on your arm? You want to see the
Scratches?
pictures? You want?
I got
I'll show you-
scratches.
I can show you the pictures right now.
No, I want you to leave my family fucking alone.
Keep hanging outside of there.
Monkey, hit the road. Dude, I promise you, you're gonna get yours and you're
I
gonna
don't
get
give a
it
fuck.
good.
You can bring whoever the fuck you want.
That's okay. You're
You
gonna
can bring
Is
the
that
whole
a
fucking
threat?
army.
You're gonna
I don't give
find
a
out.
fuck.
This make you feel?
Huh?
You're filming my father and my fucking sister. How does this make
Oh,
you
is that the
feel?
one that put
Alright, so she's trying to make a point, and it goes right over his head. Do you like it when someone does this to you? Do you like it when someone invades your privacy and quotes everything you say? How does it feel when someone does it to you? We have a court order. You just have a weirdo problem. And you can't control it. You don't have the power to control yourself. Because I didn't invite you to Oklahoma. I don't want you peeping at my house. I don't want you hacking my phone. I'm not going to be trafficked. I'll kick your fucking ass. If you get anywhere near me, I will kick your fucking ass. And I said no. And everything else after that is another count, another event, another charge. Another actionable cause of action. Pressure, coerce, pressure, coerce, pressure, coerce. Your illegal business deal is not my problem. You don't get to bother me with that. I have the right to my privacy. You don't have the right to invade it. How do you like it when someone invades your privacy? Yeah, whatever. So then we got pictures of me working, and I'm going to have all these pictures in Oklahoma. Mr. Perry's in Oklahoma and refuses to leave. What do you do with your time all day? I want you to tell Judge Parker and Judge Egan, what do you do with your time all day? Give them a schedule of your time. How often are you in Oklahoma? Because Oklahoma courts might have jurisdiction over you, and you may not be able to run for governor in Texas because you're always in Oklahoma, and you have been for 9 years. And they've told me you refuse to leave. I didn't invite you here, sir. I came here to get away from you and have no conflict with you, no drama, no problem, nothing. You chose, all by your baby self, to make a deal that was illegal, and you knew it was illegal. You don't get to bother me with that. When you do, you get caught. Act like you know you're caught. We're talking about it, so you're caught. You got caught beforehand. My answer to you is not just no, it's fuck you. You don't get to do it to me. Act like you know you're caught. Or you can't be governor. You're not smart enough. This guy, and then it's, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. I'm going to make you go. Okay. You get near me. Everyone knows. I've made it very clear. I don't go where you are. I've done everything I can do to get away from you. You come near me, I will beat the fuck out of you. Okay? Is everybody clear on that? I don't have a weapon. I don't shoot people. But his balls will be in his brain. Okay? He's already a mental veggie. It'll be worse. Coma. With any luck at all.
Put all those scratches on your arm. You want to see the
Scratches?
You want?
I got scratches.
I can show you the pictures right now.
No, I want you to leave my family fucking alone.
Keep hanging outside of this.
Monkey, hit the road. Dude, I promise you, you're gonna get yours and you're
I
gonna
don't give
get
a
it
fuck.
good.
You can bring whoever the fuck you want.
That's okay. You're
You
gonna
can bring
Is
the
that
whole
a
fucking
threat?
army. I don't give a fuck.
This make you feel?
Huh?
You're filming my father and my fucking sister. How does this make
Oh,
you
is that
feel?
the one that put all those scratches on your arm? You want to see the
Scratches?
pictures? You want?
I got
I
scratches.
can show you the pictures right now.
No, I want you to leave my family fucking alone.
Keep hanging outside of this.
Monkey, hit the road. Dude, I promise you, you're gonna get yours and you're
I
gonna
don't give
get
a
it
fuck.
good.
You can bring whoever the fuck you want.
That's okay. You're
You
gonna
can bring
Is
the
that
whole
a
fucking
threat?
army.
You're gonna
I don't give a
find
fuck.
out.
This make you feel? I don't. Don't stop him.
That's okay.
Okay. So one guy that was asked to pull me over said, listen, I'm not pulling her over. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do a prearranged, targeted pullover. What I'm wondering is if he did this to her in a bar, the bouncers would kick his ass out. So why are we putting up with this? And that's the big question. Why are you? Yeah.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. And you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
You need to grow a pair of balls, princess. Take your little girl panties off and act like a man. I said no. No means no. So, your illegal business deal is not my problem. You're a grown man. You chose to do that all by yourself. You deal with it. My choice is go be trafficked and raped and starved and beaten. And let Charles bank on that. Or fight him off with these guys helping me because I can't do it by myself. There's no way. And they put him in jail. And I get my privacy back and my money back. And I won't have another late payment. I can eat whenever I want, finally. I still don't. Things are just a little bit better. But not, I still don't eat whenever I want. I eat sometimes. It's more often than twice a week. My bills are late. Every time I have a late payment and there's a late fine or a late fee or a canceled contract, Mr. Perry, you're going to get a charge for that. Okay, it's a coercion charge. He said something like interference with contracts with intent to coerce. Interference with commerce with intent to coerce. Grand larceny with intent to coerce. Deprivation of food and shelter with intent to coerce. Push, pressure, coerce. Push, pressure, coerce. Push, pressure, coerce. Butt into stuff that's none of your business. Where I live, what I drive, doesn't concern you in the least. It doesn't concern you at all. Okay? I don't care what you think. Didn't ask you, did I? Connie. You're just like Connie Curry. You gotta go out with her. Butt in. Bother. Oh my gosh. So it's like a little old lady. Okay, so, and you say things that it doesn't even make sense. Just like that guy did. Oh, you want me to go get the pictures of you? He totally missed her point. You want me to go get the pictures of you? And every day, Mr. Perry threat, I'm going to false arrest you. I'm going to have a raid on the club. We'll call Sheriff Reed and have him raid the club. We'll call in a pullover. We'll take your car away. We'll make sure you can't get a job and make any money. We'll tell your family not to help you. Let us know if she pressures you. We heard Mr. Consueler now is involved in that. Now we heard, I don't know how long he's been involved in it, but the guy said he was one telling your ex-husband don't help her and let us know if she pressures you, and now he's telling one of your customers don't buy from her. He's interfering with commerce. He's interfering with your ability to make money and pay your bills. So we got all eyes on him right now, because we're gonna find out what the hell that's all about. What that is far outside the duties of a prosecutor, way far. Talk about disbarable offense. Called one of your customers and said, don't give her money, don't buy from her anymore, let us know if she pressures you. We're going to interfere with legal work that she can make legal money and you know, pay her bills and follow the law and all that. We're going to interfere with that so that we can pressure her to do something illegal. Wow, the prosecutor, are you sure? So I'm not going to say whether that intel is good or bad. I'm going to say that's the intel we got. I had a customer that was first of all, when you're dancing and the customer's taking up your time out of the club, texting you, you have the right as a dancer to ask them to give you some money sometimes, within reason. Okay, I've done that I've danced 10 years. I've done that for 10 years. It's nobody's business. That's my business. I'm an independent contractor. It doesn't concern you at all. So I text the customer and I'm like, can you cash at me $60? Nothing wrong with asking him that. He's taking up my time outside the club. Okay. I don't have to give him my phone number at all, do I? It's my decision. It's my business. It's not your business. So he flipped out. And I'm like, what the fuck? Well, I guess somebody asked him about it. And they said, listen, you're telling me that you gave her between $200 and $400 tips. Yeah? Then what the fuck are you flipping out over 60? That doesn't make any sense. What happened? Well, they told us I couldn't buy from her. Who told you that, Mr. Consueler? Mr. Consueler? The DA of Tulsa? Yes, he told us we can't buy from her. And that if she pressures us to let him know. So now, the next time he came in, that's what happened. He didn't buy from me. So that right there appears to prove that intel is good intel. Which you don't have the right to make those kind of phone calls. And the only way they could have known about that is hacking my phone and looking at the text. So twice now, that would be my ex-husband and this guy. The DA has told them you can't give her money. Either the ex-husband helping or the customer just interfering with commerce to pressure me to do something illegal. They want me to recant my claims for the past 10 years, and they want me to go be trafficked. And I've said, fuck you on both. Not going to happen. It's never going to happen. The guys are going to put you in jail, and that's that. No more drama. No more problems. No more broke. No more invasion of my privacy. That's it. It's over. I'm supposed to testify against you. You're tampering with a witness. Why would I not testify against you? You get caught when you do it to me. I found out before you trafficked me what you're doing. We found out beforehand, not after. Any other victim know before that their family is going to be used to gaslight them? Because the guy goes, it only really works if she didn't know what we did. It only works if she doesn't know that her relatives are saying our words, not theirs. That we spent a long time grooming them to do that. Scripts and role-playing. We wrote the scripts up. We practiced role-playing. You're going to say this. She's going to say that. So I won't have a fucking thing to do with my family because they left me sitting in a parking lot in a car with no food while they ate dinner with the man who did that to me. So why would I have a fucking thing to do with them ever again? Ever again. They want to help you make me be trafficked and raped? Wow. You got my cousin to say the worst mistake I made was helping her, which turned the stomach of a grand juror And at one point he said he had to say 3 times different things that you wanted him to say. And your response to some of it was, I have to get him to change what he said because if I can't get her trafficked, I'll lose millions. Okay, when you got into my school money, that pissed off someone very badly. And the guy said to our people, this is something you don't talk about or you're dead. They have a I think he said a house is what they called it at the time, initially, a house in Houston. They went and kidnapped a bunch of girls, got them pregnant. They raped the girls, they got them pregnant, they pimp them out. And now they're raping the kids and pimping them out too. And those men go in there and have sex with those women, then they have sex with each other, and then they have sex with the kids. And that place smells like the sewer because those little kids are getting sodomized. There is some bad, awful shit in that place. But here's the thing, they're trying to ruin her school. Criminal justice degree. She's our Katniss. We can't let that happen. They want that ruined because she's good at this. She's catching their crime. You guys are catching their crime. And no one else has done that. She's got the balls to fight this. And no one else does. So, we can't have this happen. So you need to know. I'm going to step up and talk about stuff we don't talk about. Because they'll kill us dead if they find out I'm the one that told you. Those kids are getting raped and they're screaming. Little tiny humans. Getting an old fat smelly guy's dick up his ass. Little tiny humans. Screaming and crying while that's going on. And the mom's in the next room crying because she can't do anything to help her kid. If you did that to my kid, I would slit your throat ear to ear and not think twice about it. God help me if I didn't kill your ass. You hurt my kid like that, I would kill you dead. I would bang the door. I'll tell you what. There's no way I would sit in the next room and weep. I would kill you dead if you did that to my child. How dare you? Those are tiny humans who will never be the same again. They will never know what it's like to be in a normal home where they're safe. They will never. And then get this, the guy said, they tell the mom, they told this one girl, they said, she's crying, she's upset, they tell her, don't cry, quit crying. He'll get used to it. We'll get him a toy. Dear Jesus. That, I'll tell you what, Mr. Perry, when you contact me, you fucktard. You act like you think I give a shit what you think. Were you asked? He'll type in my other phone like he thinks this is a conversation. He's that delusional whack job. No one, here's the other thing about that, is we know he's doing that. And he'll run around getting, oh, she called me a fucktard or a cuckoo bird. Oh, she called me retarded. No one gives a fuck. Look what you're doing. People feel as sorry for you as they do BTK or John Cooey. No one gives a fuck. You get us a lot of intel doing 2 things. One, asking me for, other than just your normal crime that is very upsetting and offensive to other people. Tiny humans, tiny baby humans getting raped and screaming and shitting on the floor from being sodomized. And Charles Perry's a part of doing that. Alleged pedophile, child pornographer, cop killer, human trafficker, rapist. Should I go on? Is the intel good or bad? And now you're telling us the DA is helping him to try to facilitate delivery by calling my customers that he could only know about from hacking my phone, or Charles hacks it and calls him and tells him the information. And the guy asked, he goes, you're telling us that you gave her $200 to $400 tips every time you went in, but suddenly that changed and $60 is a problem for you? Do you see how that's Do you see that does not make sense for us? And I don't. What is wrong with you? Oh, well, they told us we can't give her any money, and
That's okay.
Leave me alone.
that if she pressures us to let them know. It's legal. There's nothing illegal about it. It's her business. She's an independent contractor. It's her job. But they're going to interfere with that so they can do something illegal and make cash out on a delivery of a human being. Make Papa John's. You said, how do I know your code words? That's what the thing was this morning. We cannot use her family. We spent years and a lot of money grooming her family to help us traffic her. Gaslight her. But she found out about it, and now she won't have a fucking thing to do with her family. She won't talk to them. She won't have anything to do with them. She doesn't respect them. They have zero influence. So, Little Red Riding Hood, your other code word, that's a no-go. Your code word for using family to gaslight a human trafficking victim is Little Red Riding Hood. Delivery of a human trafficking victim to the buyer is Papa John's. See, we have that information, and you act like you have no idea what it means that we have it, and you think we're just going to do nothing with it. You're raping tiny humans. Believe me when I say we're going to do more than you can imagine. They will hit you like a ton of bricks with the law, and you won't breathe again. You dug your hole, and you kept digging it and 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 throwing more and more dirt up, you know. They're about to bury you in it. You kicked a hornet's nest, Mr. Perry. And the interesting thing is, my guys told them in March 2020, you don't invade her privacy, you do not contact her or her family, and she better not be broke. You get your hands out of her wallet. And Perry's like, no. Okay, suit yourself. Now we have the compound information, and we got a lot of details about what's going on inside that compound. It is south of Houston, we understand. We've got Tim, who kidnaps these women. He has a transponder problem. Damn thing won't work right. Every time he has a kidnapping victim, doesn't want to know where he lands and where he takes these women. Natalie Holloway may be at that compound. Again, police record a lot of things. Intel's good or intel's bad. They said maybe this is coming from Ron Vandersloot. Maybe he's talking. They got her, Fabian Puzzle, in jail. Could they be talking to Mike Neely, the Manford police officer accused of killing his boss, Chief Miller? Only he has not a mark on him. He's accused of beating him to death. Not a mark on him. No murder weapon found at the scene. Arrest report says red swollen right hand. Well, the red swollen right hand, he had an IV needle in it, which would have made it red and swollen. Had he beat Chief Miller to death as bad as they say he did, he died. He'd have had bruises and injury all over. They got in a drunken brawl. But he has not a mark on him. In whose imagination did that happen? So our guy starts digging, because I had just made a car vandalism complaint 6 days before. I don't know who did this. If they did it, I need to go get a protective order. It'll be my 12th of tent. They keep buying the judges. They keep buying their way out. And I'm never in the hearings. What's the harm of letting her in court to show evidence she doesn't have? Three lawsuits. She's tried to sue you 3 times. And then 4th time get a protective order. Or the first time was get a protective order. I forgot the police report. And so the judge denied me. I had an attorney. He also said no jurisdiction. Well, that was the attorney's job. Now I just represent myself. I'm not doing that again. So I've had to study the law. I've not been to law school. I haven't even finished college yet. Remember they screwed that up for me temporarily? Yeah. I'm really good at what I do. Oh, we can't have her doing criminal justice. She's too good. She's catching all our crime. Nobody's done that before. We've not had this happen before. So let's go bait her out with nursing school. Ew. No, thank you. So they offer you shit, you don't want. I mean, they wonder why you don't. Anyway, what I want is my privacy and my own money. The money you took, the money you stole, I want that back. Like from the customer that was tipping me normally $2 to $5. It was pretty much always about $400. So just tips. So what? Plus he'd get a VIP or 2 or 3, and you didn't have the right to interfere with that. Those kind of things that you did, plus $1,000 a day for watching me in the privacy of my home using my body for your imaginary love life, and $2,000 a day for doing it without my consent. I'm not free. I don't know what planet you live on. You've been sent an invoice. Pay it. So you got bookkeeping columns, sir, adding up and adding up and adding up and adding up. And all the pressuring is just one more count, one more event, one more charge, one more cause of action. And things that happened that you planned and you carried out. Pull over, pull her over, pull her over. Take her car, and then she'll call me. Take her car, pull her over, take her car, pull her. One guy was like, if I have to listen to that whiny little nag one more time, demand that we pull her over and take her car, I'll hit him myself. I'll fucking hit him myself. So once we find Mike Neely is accused of beating his boss to death, the medical examiner said, it's so bad with such force like a car crash, and Mike has not a mark on him. And then like, well, what's a car look like after a car crash? So why does Mike Neely have not a mark on him? Well, our guys started looking and digging. Well, turns out he was drugged. And we're like, okay, so he was drugged. Yep, he was drugged. He was found unconscious and in respiratory distress. He was dying of opioid overdose. Okay, so how did he beat Chief Miller to death when he's in that condition? You tell me, because I don't think that's what really happened. What they say happened is not what happened. So you're a cop killer. Because there's no reason. There was never motive given. You have to have elements of a crime before you prosecute it. Motive means opportunity. You have to link the suspect to the murder. Well, you can't do that if the guy has no injury. There was no drunken brawl. He would have been injured in a fight. His hands would be bruised up, fingers broken. If he hit him so hard, it was like he was in a car crash. He hit him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. She said, the medical examiner said, until his head became detached from the rest of his body and he died of internal decapitation, blunt force trauma to the head, and strangulation. How do you do that when you're dying of opioid overdose over in the corner or up on the bed? Then Lucky is pulled back into the corner. Mike is thrown on top of him, face down, so the killer covered their faces. They had some amount of shame. They didn't want to see their faces when they left the room. And who let them in the room? There was no cameras in the hallways. Who let them in the room? It was someone they knew. They let him in the room. They had time to spike a drink. Mike takes the drink. Probably sitting on the bed. The guest is probably sitting in the chair. They're laughing, joking. The neighbors say that they're complaining about the noise getting loud. Their commotion. They're laughing. They're kidding around. They're joking. But then they start yelling. And what we believe happened in recreating the crime scene of, here's what happened, is that Mike took a drink and he began to pass out on the bed, fell back on the bed. And Lucky began then fighting with the killer. What'd you give him? And they start yelling back and forth, and the neighbors call and complain. And in Hotel John, the security guy comes up to the room, bangs on the door. He said Lucky opened the door. Only enough to see his face. He was concealing the people in the room. He didn't need to conceal Mike. Mike's the other registered guest. So who else was in that room that he wanted to conceal? The guy standing behind him with a gun saying get rid of him? Did he have a gun to the back of his head? Was that Charles or Dave or Lucius? Who was it? It may not have been Charles personally, but it was someone that Charles asked to go do that. He facilitated. There's a proximate cause. There's a secondary cause. There's all the different layers of causal, participation in a crime. Did you cause it? Did you cause it intentionally? Was it negligent? I mean, there's all of those things in the process of prosecution. And so earlier he had been called to a room to help them find the remote. They couldn't find the remote. Well, Mike answers the door and he opens it wide enough that Hotel John can see him, and Chief Miller is laying on the bed near the window, resting, he said. So Mike opens the door wide enough where all the occupants can be seen. Everybody's okay. Everybody's safe. But at that other one, that second time he's called up, Lucky only opens the door wide enough for his face to be seen, and he's concealing the other occupants in the room. And you don't hear a peep from Mike, which an angry drunk is going to make a peep. Since when have you known an angry drunk to just say nothing when confronted about you're fighting and you're noisy and you need to quiet down, blah, blah, blah? Okay, so Mike has already passed out at that point, and nobody can confirm that. John didn't see him. He can't confirm at that point with whether or not Mike was conscious or unconscious. And they didn't bring any of that out in court. Believe me. See, I wanted to testify and they wouldn't let me because I would have brought that out. I would have said, yeah, here's the thing. I mean, Hotel John did not see Michael Neely or be able to establish what his condition was at that second call. We don't know what his condition was to this day. But my guys found out he's drugged. We found out in January 2020. I say it to the Florida State's attorney, and again in February a little more emphatically because I'm not getting any response. I did it again in March 2020, and they didn't take depositions until May 2020, in which first responders said yes, he was drugged and treated with Narcan and responded like a guy does who's been overdosed with opioids. He came to once we gave him the Narcan, and he was combative. So he doesn't. When we found him, he's not knocked out from he's not unconscious from being knocked out in a drunken brawl. He's unconscious because he's dying of opioid overdose. None of that was found in their shit. I read Michael's file from cover to cover. The man had just 6 days before taken my vandalism complaint. Maybe it's them, maybe it's not. You're the cops, you figure that out. I'm a victim. I'm not going to do your job for you. And if it comes to be that, Mr. Perry, that I've had this ongoing problem with, and in fact, we're in a lawsuit right now, and I'm asked the judge for a protective order. And I'm not getting it, so maybe I need to try again if he's doing this in my car. Stalkers always go at the car. Mr. Perry, every fucking day, is recorded whining and complaining, take her car away. Take her car away. Then she'll call me. Take her car away. Then she'll call me. Okay, and he's caught. And he acts like he has no idea. We're talking about it. He should know. So, Michael was drugged. The first responders confirmed that months after we said it. They took depositions in May 2020. It wasn't actually posted on the docket for public view until like June or July. So about 6 months before that, we found out he was drugged. Then he couldn't have done it. He's innocent. And when you get the wrong guy, because you're sloppy and you're stupid or corrupt, then the real perpetrator is continuing to make more victims. And God help your ass. You're hurting more people. In the movie Unbelievable, at the very end of it, it's about the rape of the serial rapist Mark O'Leary's capture. The first victim, the cops fucked up. They were stupid and sloppy. They didn't even try. And then he went on to rape more people, and the little girl goes back to them and she says, you don't get to just ruin someone's life. You don't. And they didn't just ruin hers. They ruined the lives of every victim who followed, because they could have stopped the man right there. And they failed. They didn't. They let him get away with it, and they punished the victim with filing a false police report, just like Mr. Perry did to me. There was never an investigation into my complaint. And by the way, to get a protective order, you have to file a police report in Oklahoma, and they knew that. It's the law. You have to do it. Now, Mr. Powell, if I hear you say one more time, did we not get her served? I swear to God, I'm going to slap you if ever I see you. Did we not get her served? Mail it. We're going to get you on mail fraud the second you do. Okay? Fraud after procure, and then you procure something with a fraud, and it, wow. I don't even know what to say to you with that. Did we not get her served? Did we? Constantly the guy's making that phone call. We hear it every time he does. Mail it, sir, and we will get you on mail fraud. Do it. But you Don't come anywhere near me. Okay? You're not going to serve me by hand. I'm not going to do. Mail it. Okay? If you're confident it's legally obtained order or filing or whatever the fuck it is, then you mail it. Okay? I won't take it any other way. If you want me to have it, mail it to my P.O. box. Okay? I will not take it any other way. Oh, are we clear? I hate repeating myself. Fucking hate repeating myself. Alright, so Officer Neely, and what he said is, back in 2020 is, get the club full of paying customers since you ran them all off. And make sure they buy from her too. Because you can't do this thing anymore where you guys tell customers, Jacob, go buy from everybody but Cindy. You got some guy named Jacob sitting outside, we hear, doing that for you? Who is this guy? Jacob person. Running customer. Buy from everybody but Cindy. My name, by the way, is Cynthia. Okay? Unless you're a very, very close friend or family member, you call me Cynthia. You're not to call me Cindy. Okay? Also, and definitely not Sin. Sin is reserved only for my closest friends. Okay, so, excuse me. He said, get Michael Neely home. Had you done that, it would have looked like, it would be very hard to believe that you had anything to do with that murder. It would have looked like, well, they helped Michael get home. They wouldn't have done that if they did the murder. Or even if they did the murder, it's very hard to make that argument. But you didn't. Instead, you retaliated against me. I'm broke. You tried to traffic me. You want me to sign a lie. Okay, so you did the murder. That's what it looks like. I can say allegedly. Ask those tiny humans if they care if I say allegedly. Those tiny humans you rape, those little babies, little tiny children that you rape, ask them if they give two fucks whether or not I say allegedly. Okay? Or call you a fucktard or a retard or a cuckoo bird or whatever I choose to call you on any given day. It's the least we can do for those babies is call you names. Okay? You don't get to whine about it. Take your little girl pants off and put your big boy pants on and act like a dude. Okay? Stop embarrassing me and everybody else. Stop. And, okay. And he said, give her her money back and get the fuck out of her life. And you thought you had a choice. In your delusion, you actually thought you had a choice. And you didn't. So then we got the code words, then we got names of your people, Bedencore and Oscar and Bruce and Larry and Tim and Beverly and Sanjay, all those people. We got their names after that. And your code words, Papa John's and Ratatouille and Rumpelstiltskin and Hansel and Gretel. We can't Hansel and Gretel her because she's onto us now. So that doesn't work anymore. Can't do Little Red Riding Hood because she hates her family now because we, made them be assholes to her. So she don't like them. She sits in her car, has no food, while we entertain the man that made her go sleep in her car. My friend got it right. There's no way she would go off the man that would make her sleep in her car. There's no way. If she's sleeping in her car, it's better than being with someone like that. That would make her sleep in her car. She's used to a higher caliber person and a higher standard of living. And this canned food ghetto shit, not her thing. Not her thing at all. I was also raised in 4 generations of police. Good police. Effective police. Relieve suffering caused by crime, my granddad said. We are called as lawmen to relieve suffering caused by crime. And if the best you can do in your career in law enforcement is be the bitch of a sex weirdo, I have no words for you. I have no fucking words for you. But our guys are like this.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior, and you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public, it doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
Alright, Mr. Perry has to have everything repeated because it just doesn't click for him, so we're going to play it 2 or 3 times.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior, and you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public, it doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
That's okay. That guy's been raping you.
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
That guy's been raping you.
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
That guy's been raping.
Okay, so that's kind of what the guy said is, here's the thing, is you're mad because she's finding out before. Yeah, we're all mad. Okay, well, here's the thing. She said that you're offending people and upsetting people with your crime, and crime tends to do that. Look at the polls, watch the news, dum-dum. And so her people understand what people want, and it's not your crime. They want you gone. So they're getting the help and you're getting told on. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. We all learned it in daycare. So why are you having a hard time keeping up with the rest of us? Yeah, well, he wants to be governor. Of what? Monkeys at the zoo? Okay, so we have this blog which they want to delete, we heard. We're going to arrest her and then delete the blog and the Facebook because she's documented the crime on it. We get it beforehand, remember? So each of these blogs, we've documented a different crime that Mr. Perry has talked about committing against me. We've got a whole page here on human trafficking. Here. See? Yep. We know you're caught, dum-dum. Act like you know that. You think we're just going to do nothing with this? You're delusional. No telling what you think. Okay. No basis. I don't think he can tell the difference anymore between fact and fiction. I think he sits around all day perverting around in loopy-loo land and doesn't even know what's real anymore. So we were bringing that out, I guess, earlier. If he has spent 10 years saying every weirdo thing in Oklahoma that one could, no normal person could think this shit up. Couldn't do it if you had to. He'll just say it. Blurts it out like it's nothing. And people are like, oh my God, what a weirdo. Oh dear God, what a weirdo. So embarrassed. So, you think all of a sudden now, 10 years after doing that in Oklahoma, that he's just going to get on a stage and conduct a debate or a media interview and not blurt something out? He's been saying, and just shift into normal conversation. It's not going to happen. He'll blurt something out. He's been saying the same things for 10 years. Same bizarro, strange-o, weirdo shit that I went around telling everybody, oh, Cynthia's my wife, I'm going to get her pregnant. Well, I haven't seen him since 2013. I've moved twice to get away from him. So I'm not his wife. He forged a marriage license to get information to ruin my finances so that he could traffic me. Right? What's the problem here? Okay. So it's a forgery. And Chief Miller asked me about it. How'd you sign your name? Tell me, spell your name for me exactly like you signed it on that marriage certificate. And I'm like, well, I didn't sign it. That's the thing. I don't know how he signed it. Why don't you show me your copy? And he said, well, I don't have it with me. Then I said, well, show me your copy and watch him shit himself. I haven't seen it. I didn't sign it. It's a forgery. It's not real. It's whatever, he's got some stuff in his head that's just bizarre. So we got a whole page on that, on the perjury. Oh, it's a perjury, Mr. Powell. You sure you want to send me that in the mail? I won't take it in either way. I want to get you on mail fraud, okay? We want to add that to the list. So mail that shit to me, okay? Yeah. Okay, so I guess they were told at one point, you have to prove she's lying and she knows she's lying. And I'm like, I'm typing up in an email. I've got over 1 million emails that I've typed up a police recording, and then I send it to them. And then they can save us a lot of time and energy and money. They take it and put it on the docket as evidence that they're being harassed. We're going to take her car. We're going to starve her till she lies. We've sold her to this guy, Larry. I could lose millions if I don't get her delivered. Shit like that. Before he does it. Right? Your people, Geppetto, Blankenship, Bencore, all those people. People on your accomplices in your criminal activity, right? You take it down to the courthouse, you file and go, oh, she's harassing me. And my guy's like, he can't argue for suppression in the criminal case. They made it public record. That's why we're doing it. Prove that's a lie and prove she knew it's a lie. And I'm like, I can testify that I heard the police recording. Nothing else can I testify to. Now, if the recording is about taking my car, and then the next day my car was taken from the Flying J, which was what the email says from the day before they were recorded, talking to Brandon at the Flying J about taking my car on January 18th. On January 19th, they did take my car from the Flying J. So, can we say that's true or false? I mean, it's not false. It's true. You did it. You proved it out. Otherwise, all I can do is, I heard a police recording. They played it for me. I typed it up in an email and sent it to them. We want it on the docket. We want a public record as much as possible. You had 3 lawsuits that I filed against you. The burden proof was on me. I had to prove my case. But you wouldn't even let me in the courtroom. You did a bunch of ex parte backroom deals with the judges, and then everything got dismissed. So there was never a jury trial. There was not even really no even hearings that I was in. I think it was in like the first one and never again. Right? There was the last one between me and Lady Godiva's, and the judge Morrissey said, "Did you want?" There was like a basic hearing, and then there was like, "You got to file this other motion." And she tells Mr. Goodwin, "Do you want to file the motion?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then she tells me, "Do you want this motion here that you filed, which really is not appropriate? I need to nix it, but I can take it as your answer. Or do you want to wait till he files his motion and then you answer his motion?" And I said, "Well, I need to see what his motion says. So nix the one you have, and then I want to answer what he files." And she says, "Fine," and then we'll have a hearing. And then next thing we know, everything's dismissed. There's nothing. There's no motions filed. There's no hearing. Now, how did that happen? You think that's legit? You think that was done legally? No, it was not. It was not done legally. You played Candyland against you and you beat you. You didn't have an opponent. I didn't have the opportunity to prove my case. What's the harm in letting her in court to show evidence she does not have? Yeah, pussies is what y'all are. 5 seasoned attorneys against one woman with not a lick of law school. So now you see the fear of me getting a degree in criminal justice. Yeah. The guy's like, nope, she's our Katniss, so I don't think so. Here's stuff you need to know. There's more stuff. This stuff could get me killed, so you better keep an eye on me. So this page goes over the perjury and everything. Mr. Perry's mental illness. Mike Neely's case. Mike Shrink's like, he's it's a stalking escalation. The false arrest was. He did a false arrest. First he threatened it. I emailed it to everybody. He's threatening me false arrest and murder. If somebody's threatening with false arrest and death, you need a protective order. I filed a police report to get a protective order. Less than a week later, before police even collected any evidence at all, they have me charged and arrested in Lubbock for filing a false police report. Yeah. Over a political vendetta. Yeah. No, there was no political vendetta. Here's the disclaimer that we have. Apply the but-for legal standard. But-for Mr. Perry provoking and antagonizing in the state of Oklahoma and causing me a shit ton of loss. We wouldn't talk about it. There wouldn't be anything to talk about, would there? Use of technology is put out by, it's a video, training video for law enforcement and judges and so forth of victims, about the use of the cloning and hacking a phone to track victims. This is what police are supposed to do, and it talks a lot about vandalism to a car. When you get a car vandalism complaint, the officer says, you need to make sure it's not stalking related. You're the cop, you figure it out. Don't make her do it, you do it. Don't make her do your job. Don't make victims do your job, officer. When you get a car vandalism complaint, you need to make sure it's not stalking related. Ask the right questions. Do you have a problem with someone following you? Could they have done this? Because some victims don't know they're being stalked, or they don't know that the car vandalism is stalking related. So I had a car vandalism complaint. I filed it with Manford Police. 6 days later, the chief is dead. Was he going to investigate that compound, Charles? Did you murder him? That's a motive for murder. There's the motive for murder. Motive means opportunity is the elements of crime. That's what you need. So why are you having my customers not give me money if you're not retaliating and if you're not doing exactly what we say? Answer that question, fucktard. Answer it. And don't cry about getting called a name when you've got little tiny humans screaming and crying their eyes out because they're getting raped so you make a profit. Okay? We don't care about your little feelings. We'll get you a tissue. Oh, she hurt my feelings. Oh my God. Wow. Yeah. Nope. No one cares. No one fucking cares. That was off that whole time. Okay, so here's all the car accidents. Good grief. Backed into me. Said I backed into him. Paint all over his bumper. I have nothing. Now, how do you back into somebody's bumper with the side of your car? Okay. Then we got back. Somebody hit me here at the wheel. Hit me here at the wheel. That was a hit and run. Hit me here at the wheel. The stalkers always go at the car. Threw a brick at me on the freeway. Bounced off the, asphalt. Jumps up and hits the underneath of my car. Yep. So, now, I just saw that this was paused, so I'm not sure how much. I'm going to go over it again real quick. This is Judge Kirkendall. I need, hold on. This was a letter to the U.S. Attorney. They're using law enforcement. This was Chief Miller. I'm tired of him asking us to pull her over. I might call in a protective order. I'm going to have her car towed and sold before she figures out it's not legal. That was in August. That was in Manford when I lived in there. If he has me dead or arrested, that's not going to make him not a stalker. It's going to make him a stalker. And I've been saying, I did tell you so. These are, rule out entrapment. I had to rule out oh, this is the murder they wanted to frame me for. The shoes they find, I bought a year or two after this email was sent. And I guess a year or two after the murder, they were trying to use the shoes to frame me for. Gosh, did you consider that the shoes were bought after all that? Like a year or two after all that. So they're not the right shoes. So you can't use them to plant as evidence in the murder you're trying to frame me for. Okay, everybody? Beverly was worried about my shoes. The bus pass, kick her out of her home, tell her she has to leave Oklahoma, give her a bus pass. That goes back to 2022, 21. They've been talking about that. If we got that, do you think it's up to you where I live? Yeah, I don't think so. Trafficking code words, McNamara email. I have to rule out entrapment and provocation. You're always in Oklahoma, Mr. Perry. Why are you always in Oklahoma? And she's had all the injury. You don't have any. Yeah. Names we got. Major loss cause it. All of a sudden you start getting names. People start talking. They don't like your crime. I want him to leave me alone. I don't want to fight, and I don't want a scandal. I just want him to leave me alone. That was in 2014. Pull her over. Get her driver's license. Harass the hell out of her. Then when she complains about it, we'll say she's harassing us. We're all in Oklahoma though, where she is. That was Judge Kirknall. We're quoting judges here, guys. Pulled my taillight out to pull me over, and they were talking about trying to get her to put a bumper sticker on her car so it's easier to spot. Matt Powell wanting, what's her address? Do we have her whereabouts? Blah blah. Always asking. That drives me nuts. We have one in Tulsa, victim that we need to get back to Texas so we can do more to her. Get her kicked out of her home. Make sure we can't do it because we make sure she has no job and no money for non-payment because it's a COVID moratorium. This was on 2/9/21. Police recorded that. 2/15. There's a COVID moratorium, so let's do it on smoking. She calls about smoking. That's the manager. A couple days later, Mike has no injury. He says to him, it appears Lucky was beat to death, but he doesn't say, it appears you beat Lucky to death because look at your injuries. That's on the News on 6 story. We have it linked on the blog I just showed you. Red swollen right hand. Well, gee, there's an IV in it. Might that be why it's red and swollen? Otherwise, not a mark on him. Arrest report also lists no injuries. Red swollen right hand. Emailed March 2, 2020. He was drugged. He didn't do it. Sure shit. May 2020. This is where they're talking. I gave him Narcan. He was dying of drug overdose. Lucky came in and asked me about the forgery. They were just trying to. This is not Lisa Neely's accounts. They spoofed it. But they knew he was in there. They were trying to get me to talk about what we talked about is what they were trying to do. How did you know that Mike had to be begged to go? Because we premeditated that and we begged him to go. We just want you to tell us if you know which one of us begged him to go. Hansel and Gretel, you call it. Probability of Fabian's name coming up, if this were random, over his real name, Todd, or some other name, Charles or John or Pete, or, This is not a common name. Do the math. Powell wants to get me served, so he's going to have to mail it. Alright, so I guess we're done for today. So documented for the record, he sold me. He's trying to pressure me into being trafficked by starvation or a club raid, or, and I'm like, Sheriff Reed, person that knows us both, please tell Sheriff Reed he doesn't need to raid the club if he wants to talk to me. Just walk in and ask for me. Second thing is, the pullovers. Perry calling and white, please take her car away, please take her car away, please take her car away, please take her car. And then everybody's like, oh my God, what a whiny nag. If I hear his voice one more time, I swear to God, I'll hit him myself. Nobody cares what you think. They care about those little babies, little tiny humans. They care about me and the Millers and the Neelys, Charles, not you. And if we can get all that stuff, then the stuff you're talking about, it's not really up to you, is it? We can't let her live in Oklahoma. It's not up to you. We know you said that. People are very, very upset and sick and tired of this and your crime. So, I don't know what to tell you, but I don't think Mr. Perry could hold a normal conversation for very long in a political setting, running for office, that he wouldn't blurt something out and not realize who he were. I mean, he's been talking about all of his weirdo crime in Oklahoma for 10 years nonstop, all day, every day. So you think he can just shift to a normal conversation and not blurt something out accidentally and forget where he is and who he's talking to? And talk about Bettencourt and talk about Blankenship and talk about Geppetto and talk about those kids at the compound and Natalie Hall. You think he won't just blurt something out? You want to roll those dice. Roll those dice.